All right, guys. So for our final edition of Tech Talk for today, it's been a very productive day on YouTube for me. I want to kind of walk through iMovie. iMovie is a really great resource for you. If you don't already have iMovie downloaded onto your computer, you can get it through self-service. All you need to do to find self-service is just start typing it into your Spotlight window, and it will come up. The login information is the same as it is to log onto your computer, so there should be no worries there. And then you'll just type iMovie in the search box and you'll find it right away. If you have any trouble finding that, please let me know. I find that iMovie is a really great tool. I actually hadn't played with it very much in its current version until just this morning, and I really like what I'm able to do with it. I've actually started to put together kind of a sample project. If you watched my other videos, then you know I've been looking at Albert Einstein and his contributions to chemistry. It turns out that that actually would have been a decent topic choice, but now you can't have it because I'm making a project on Einstein. So I've put together an iMovie here, and when you get into the iMovie screen, it's going to prompt you to create a new project. There's just going to be a plus sign on your screen. You're going to click on that plus sign, and you're going to get a screen a lot like what you see here, except it's going to be completely blank. And so what you need to do is I would start with a background. The backgrounds are, or actually a title. So probably you want to give your project a title. I just used the boring standard tile here. And what you'll do is you'll just take this, click on it. You notice how there's a yellow border around it, and then you'll just drag it down into your presentation. Now, I don't want to put that in right now, so I'm not going to put it in, but if you wanted to, you would just drag and drop it right down into this lower box down here. I realized just now that I'm pointing at the screen that you can't see, but you see where I'm going with this. You'll see that an icon starts to show up, and you can actually let me just go ahead and insert this in between here. And what you can do is if you want this to show up for a longer or a shorter time, you can click on the edge of it here. Hopefully you're able to see that okay. And you can actually stretch it out if you want it to go longer, or you can shrink it if you want it to go shorter. It's entirely up to you how long you want that to appear on the screen. And so I'm going to go ahead and delete that since I don't want that in my final presentation. Let's see if I can actually do that. So you're going to double click on the trackpad and then click on delete. So now it's gone. So you'll probably want to start with a title from the titles menu here. You can use literally anything here. There might be, there's actually one that shows you credits like at the end of a movie. I might actually run my works cited at the end like that. I haven't quite gotten there yet, but I'll be sure to post the final product when I'm done with it. So if you want to add pictures or video or audio or anything else, then you're going to do that under My Media. So My Media, these are all the things that I've either recorded or that I've uploaded to iMovie. And if you want to bring in things like pictures or anything else, you're going to go to the File menu, and then you're going to go to Import Media. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to click over to my Google here, and I'm going to do an image search for E equals mc squared. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm at the point where I'm discussing his contributions, Einstein's contributions to chemistry. And one of the things that he did was he figured out the relationship between the mass lost by nuclear decay and the amount of energy that was released. It's actually one of the discoveries that led to the development of the atomic bomb, which he hated, actually. He hated that his discoveries were used to make these very powerful and dangerous weapons. And so I'm going to go to the Images tab here, and I'm going to find something that strikes my fancy that represents E equals mc squared. This is really just to serve as a background while I talk about it. And so I'm going to go ahead, I like this little rocket here, so I'm going to go ahead and download that, save image as. I'm going to go ahead and save it to my desktop and give it a name that I'll recognize. The reason that I'm saving it on my desktop is just so it's easier to find once I get back to iMovie. Because you'll find that if you bury it in your Google Drive, it's going to be harder to find. So I'm going to go back to iMovie. I'm going to go into File and Import Media. And this is where you would bring in voice memos that you made, audio files that you created. I posted a few videos on that earlier today. But this time I'm looking for Rocket. I'm looking for that image right there. It's going to show you the image on the screen. And you're going to click on Import Selected. If you wanted to import a number of photos, if you wanted to kind of find all your photos and then import them all at once, you would just hold the Command key and then hold down whatever you wanted to upload. I'm not going to upload my senior day soccer video because it's very big. I'm just going to upload the rocket picture. So there's our picture right there. So now, if I want to bring this down into my presentation, I'm just going to click on it. I'm going to bring it down into my presentation. And I'm just going to drop it right there. And so now I'm going to want to record some audio over that. I'm not actually going to do that right now, but what I would do if I wanted to record some audio over this, easy for me to say, I would put this yellow line that you see on the screen right at the beginning, right on the left side of that picture. And then I'm going to go up to where it says window here. And I am going to, apparently it's not going to like me doing that just yet, but I'll go to record voiceover. So a voiceover is, when you're watching a TV show and maybe a nature show, and you see a bunch of kangaroos bouncing around and someone's talking in the background that isn't there, talking about what the kangaroos are doing, that's a voiceover. So I'm just going to do a voiceover for this, talking about this equation and why it's so important to chemistry. And probably what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to write out a script to make sure that I know what I'm talking about here. So probably I would maybe type something up on your phone, maybe create a Google Doc and open it up on your phone, have something to look at as you're doing that voiceover, and make sure you speak clearly. So I'm going to go ahead and click record voiceover. I'm not actually going to do it here, but you'll notice how there's this red record button right in the middle. And you also notice how there are green bars there that are recording my voice. So that's how you know that the audio is coming through. There may be a circumstance where you need to specify in this menu right here what your input source is, and you want to choose the built-in microphone. That's the microphone that comes with your computer. So once I do that, I'm just going to hit record and I'm going to say what I need to say. Then, just like you saw earlier with my title tile that I brought in, you can adjust the length of that picture or maybe bring in another picture to fit the length of that voiceover. So it takes some doing, but I like a lot what iMovie can do for me here, and I think that I'm going to be able to produce a really good video as a result. So this kind of gives you a little behind the scenes as to how I'm doing it, and in a day or two, I'll be able to show you the finished product. So I hope this helps, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.